Coming up in this episode, the NRL Round 2 kicks off with the Panthers versus the Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell incident at half-time sees a fan ejected. And Super League makes new ground as Yellow League app shows a Super League fixture. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. So, we have also got running the Buy Me a Coffee campaign, where it goes to the growth of rugby league eventually, once we get to a certain target, which you and me are donating to grow our fantastic game. Anyway, let's begin with the show. And where do we begin, first of all? Well, the NRL, where else, as the opening game of round 2 kicks off at Bluebet Stadium early this morning. That game was between the Penrith Panthers and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They both faced each other at the Bluebet Stadium on Thursday to open up round 2. We'll have to wait until tomorrow before we see the Eels versus the Sharks on the Broncos versus the Cowboys. Saturday gives us 3 games though, with the Roosters facing the New Zealand Warriors, Dolphins facing the Canberra Raiders, Melbourne Storm face off with the Canterbury Bulldogs. This means that Sunday has the Tigers versus the Knights and Dragons versus the Titans to close off the second round of the NRL. The Manly Seagulls have got the bye this week due to the 17-team competition. So as we covered, the Panthers face the Rabbitohs in the opening game of round 2, where it sees the 2 grand finalists from 2021 go against each other on this blockbuster game day. The Premiers find themselves in unfamiliar position, having lost 2 games in a row after going down in Golden Point to St Helens in the World Cup Challenge and a single point again in round 1 to Brisbane. The last time Penrith lost back-to-back premiership matches was in round 13 and 14 of 2021, when they were hit hard by Origin representation, an incredible record they will be keen to protect this week when the Bunnies come calling. Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker and Lachlan Ilias arrive at the Bluebet Stadium bristling with confidence after a stylish second half display against the Sharks, and they hold the key to the Rabbitohs starting a season 2-0 for the first time in 3 years. The Panthers look out of sorts against the Broncos as they adjust to life without Happy Kurosawa and Billy Army Kickout, but the form of new hooker Sione Luke and winger Suna Turuva were the big positives that came out of the season opener. The showdown between the chief playmakers Cleary and Ilias promises to be a beauty, while Luai and Walker are the 2 of the game's most explosive and unpredictable number 6s. You can tell which way the game will turn with a piece of magic from those 2 players. And with that, here are the teams that Ivan Cleary and Jason Demetriou have announced prior to the game. No late changes for the Premiers, who just make one forced change from last week's team, with Matt Eisenhuth joining the bench in place of Scott Surinnan, who has a concussion. Representative star Latrell Mitchell will line up at fullback despite dealing with a knee concern this week. This is just one positional move ahead of the game, with David Moale now starting at prop with David Saluka Fafita in for the injured Tavita Tatola. Again, another concussion injury, who reverts to the bench. Jed Cartwright replaces Jay Arrow, who has a hamstring problem. And it was a Panthers day for the win as they beat the South Sydney Rabbitohs 16 points to 10. Stephen Crichton opened the scoring on the 3rd minute, and Isaac Tago scored on the 39th minute, with Cleary converting the Tago try only for a 10 points to 0 half-time lead. The second half came along and Cleary extending the lead to 12 points to 0 with a penalty on the 47th minute. It was Crichton who was on the conversion duty in the first half, and then in the second half saw Alex Johnston and Isaiah Tass scoring for the fast finishing Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell scored one conversion on the 78th minute, but it wasn't enough for the Rabbitohs this time around. Unfortunately, a story that I ended on yesterday and the implications that came from that seems to be rearing its head in the Southern Hemisphere, but also seems like that it's always been targeted at one player, Latrell Mitchell, during his rugby league career. An alleged incident took place at half-time between a Penrith Panthers fan and Latrell Mitchell, which got a statement issued straight after the game from Penrith Panthers themselves. The Penrith Panthers are aware of an alleged incident involving a rugby league fan that occurred at half-time at the round 2 match against South Sydney Rabbitohs at the Bluebet Stadium. The NRL was immediately informed over the alleged matter, and the club will work with the NRL to investigate the situation. At this point, Panthers will make no further comment. It is alleged that Latrell Mitchell was the recipient of racist abuse during that interaction with a Penrith Panthers fan, and there have been strong words from the NRL and his coach Jason Demetriou over the entire incident. First of all, Andrew Abdo, the CEO of the NRL, issued the same statement after the game. Any form of racism or vilification will not be tolerated in our sport. We will not accept this behaviour from anyone. We are working with the stadium and the club to get all the facts. The integrity unit will investigate fully. We will stand behind our players and commend them for calling out this behaviour. This incident has caused rage in Rabbitohs head coach Jason Demetriou, and he has called for the life bans after Latrell Mitchell was allegedly the subject of racist abuse during the 16-10 loss to the Panthers. Mitchell was allegedly abused by a teenage fan, and that fan was ejected from the Bluebet Stadium for security. It's the second time in 5 years that a fan has been removed from the venue after Greg Inglis was the victim of racist abuse by two fans in 2018. Demetriou, in a bullish mood, said, "It's not a claim, it happened. It's not the first time we've come here as a club and our players have been racially abused. Like, where does it end? It's just not on. I shouldn't have to be able to come here as a coach and lead a team for players to be abused. We have to stamp it out completely. NRL clubs have got to get rid of it and give lifetime bans." During the game, the Panthers had done really well in keeping Mitchell at bay throughout the contest before he got involved late as the Rabbitohs came within a converted try of levelling the scores at the death. Demetriou said that Mitchell was sick of it, with the latest incident not the first time the South Sydney Star has been on the end of racist abuse within the game. Latrell answered his critics with his character every week, Demetriou said. He continually shows with the quality person he is. This is not something Latrell just cops on the football field, but something he has had to deal with his whole entire life. All Indigenous people do. Latrell is a role model in our game. We love him at the club, and he stands for all Indigenous people. He's sick of it. Why wouldn't he be? He should be able to come here as a star of our game and not be racially abused. Who cares what colour he is? It's just not on. I can't understand how this happens in this day and age. I can't get my head around how young kids think that's the language to be using. I don't care what jersey he is wearing. Anyone who wants to give racist abuse, get them out of our game. We don't want their support, he said. It's got to end. We'll go all the way, as far as we can with it. As a club, we'll stand behind Latrell. Get them out of our game. I hate commenting on these sort of situations, as it shouldn't happen. They are players of our game, and we want to be in the most inclusive game in the world, and we prove that we are all the time. But then we shoot ourselves in the foot by being not on the front foot when it comes to stopping or being proactive in these sort of situations. I agree with Jason Dimitri. Get them out of our. And finally, for this part of the episode, we have a quick look at the games that are going on in the Betfred Super League tonight and Friday and Saturday, as there are 3 days worth of games coming to you live from your local rugby league club. So I'm going to begin with Wigan Warriors versus Catalans Dragons, as they are the opening game of the weekend. Dragons travel to the Warriors to be played on Sky Sports, and it's on in the UK at 8 PM. Wigan Warriors produced a strong performance as they swept aside Castleford Tigers last week to make it back-to-back victories, as they were able to nil their opponents for the second week running, as they claimed a 36-0 success. And that defensive solidity will be required once again in the clash, where Matt Peat has named an unchanged 21-man squad. That means that on-fire winger Liam Marshall, who has 8 tries this season, is looking to continue with the form that he's in. There's only 2 players in the squad that Wigan Warriors have that are unavailable, with Ryan Hampshire, who's still recovering from that knee injury, and Ian Thornley, who's returned to training after missing a good chunk of last season this week. Their opponents, Catalans Dragons, maintained their perfect start to the season as they produced their best performance in the opening 3 rounds to thrash Hull FC. The French side bullied their opponents from the off, with their pack doing some serious damage, but they suffered further injury woes with Cesar Rouge and Romain Navarre joining the list of unavailable players. Up to now, the squad's unavailability comes with Fuad Yaha, Mitchell Pearce, Matt Whitley, Sam Tompkins, Cesar Rouge and Romain Navarre, as the ball players in the squad get thin on the ground. Tyrone May is probably the key man for them, with Adam Kieran possibly moving into the halves as well from his centre position due to his very, very good versatility. First try of the season came from Sui Takiyaho, and he stays in the squad as the French side make the trip to Wigan for the Super League game. Wigan Warriors and Catalans Dragons should be both there or thereabouts in the top 4 this season. The pair will be eager to highlight their quality in the intriguing encounter. Wigan have put their opening round loss to Hull KR well and truly behind them by nilling their opponents twice in the next 2 games, and they'll be tough to break down here. Catalan have indeed won their first 3 games at the beginning of the campaign, but they started to run out of numbers in the halves, with injuries already biting. With the Warriors not losing a single regular season home game since September 2021, my prediction for the game is a Wigan win. It'll be 28 points to 12. Yes, Wigan won't be nilling another opponent, but they'll get the two table points to go into round 5, closer towards the top. Following on from this, on Friday we see the Huddersfield Giants versus Castleford Tigers. Leeds Rhinos versus Wakefield Trinity, Hull KR versus the Warrington Wolves, while Leeds Leopards face off against St Helens. Huddersfield Giants are the next team on Super League Sky Sports coverage, as they will play against the Tigers on Friday at 8 PM. But Saturday sees Hull FC versus Salford Red Devils go into the unknown, as the game is available from 3 PM in the UK via the Our League app, which is available worldwide. This game will be a slice of history for Super League this weekend, with the match being streamed on the Our League platform. It's the first time a game from the competition has been shown on the RFL streaming platform. It will become the first ever pay-per-view streamed Super League game, which allows those who can't attend the game in the UK to watch, as well as those worldwide who want to see the action unfold. Fans will be able to buy a streaming pass for $4.95 in advance of the game, increasing to £10 on the match day. The match will also now have a video referee, with coverage beginning on the platform from 2:45 PM ahead of a 3 PM kickoff. NRL Commercial, in partnership with Sky Sports, have been working with Super League clubs to identify several matches in the season to explore the potential audience of a pay-per-view streaming service. Rodri Jones, the NRL Commercial Managing Director, said, "We're excited by the potential of a first ever pay-per-view streaming fixture to allow more supporters to watch an interactive match and to generate more revenue for clubs involved. And we're grateful to Hull FC and Salford Red Devils and our broadcast partners Sky Sports for making it possible. Pay-per-view streaming is the way of allowing people to watch more matches that are not currently televised from wherever they are in the world. And the development of the Our League app over the past 5 years has provided Rugby League and the Betfred Super League with a great platform for that. I've been championing for the availability worldwide of Rugby League games, and Our League app producing a game for £5 so that anyone could watch it around the world. Some people are a bit skeptical with that. Apologies, teeth are back in properly. Due to not really having Rugby League not really having the audience that it deserves, in my opinion, and other people's opinions. I'm just putting a bit of glass on the interpretation of it. But as we know, if you make it available to everyone, then they can watch it. Hull versus Salford Red Devils, 3 PM UK time. They found streaming service that's available worldwide. What's not to like? I hope that many people jump on it, and it's a start of something that gives more options. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates or new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, as there's a lot to go through. First of all, Panthers get on the board for the win. It's a good result, and beating one of their surely top 8 rivals come the end of the season. Then we go to the bad, with Panthers fan being ejected for racist comments. 2 episodes in 2 that I've had to comment about that. I don't want to. It's a terrible thing. Then we have the Rugby League catch-up with Catalans versus Wigan at Wigan, and also the Our League app showing Rugby League in worldwide. It's going to be interesting to see what numbers come from that as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode as I always do by wishing you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.